Welcome to the Temple of the Gods. My name is Max. I am the Temple Magus. I am a fully initiated adept of the Kabbalistic and Qliphothic trees. I work with the Anunnaki, the Egyptian gods and goddesses, the Norse gods, and various other cosmic celestial beings. My patron is the Sumerian god Enki, and I'm here to teach you and give you the knowledge and teachings of the gods that I channel directly myself. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to activate a sigil or a symbol. So let's start off. What is a sigil? A sigil is a symbol that holds meaning, that holds an intention. A sigil is a vessel. A sigil is a cell tower for spiritual energy. In my hand, I have the sigil of Lucifer. The sigil of Lucifer represents the spirit of Lucifer, but it also represents light. Light entering the eyes, going through the optic nerves and opening the pineal gland by harmonizing the two sides of the brain. So Lucifer, the sigil of Lucifer, for this reason is known as a light bringer, the morning star. So when we sun gaze, this is the symbol that occurs in our brain. So when we're charging the sigil of Lucifer, you also want to imagine that this is your brain right here. This is your brain. This is the channels within your brain which light flows through. So you can see this as the sigil of light itself, the symbol of light itself. So naturally, because of as above, so below, because things in this realm, because of the channels in our brain also have a channel in the spirit realm, also have meaning and reality in the spirit realm, what we're simply doing is we are gathering that energy from the spirit realm, from the source of the energy itself, from Lucifer or whatever, whichever spirit or energy itself, and we're consecrating this sigil with that energy. So it is very much a cell tower. Without charging the sigil, this has no power. Without charging the symbol has no power. It's just an empty vessel. So 80% of the work is charging the sigil. Drawing the sigil is very simple. Anyone can do that. But charging the sigil, that's something a lot of people struggle with. Because, let's be honest here, a lot of people are like, you have to visualize and visualize and visualize, but people don't understand that's not the only element here. Especially when it comes to light. When we're charging with light, light in the higher realms is very different. You can smell the light. You can hear the light. You can feel the light emotionally. And it's very multi-sensory. It's not a single sense. So when we're connecting with these higher energies, we in a way have to train our psychic senses, merging them, playing with them, really opening ourselves to that spirit energy. And we in a way gather that energy in some way, shape, or form through visualization, through breath work, through candle magic, through use of fire. And we in a way sow those atoms from these higher realms into this symbol, into the symbol that we're looking to charge. So when you are charging the sigil, it's almost like you're sewing your shadow to your body. Or it's like going to a well and getting water and putting in your bucket. And naturally, when you go home, you're gonna have to put that water from the bucket into a jug or into a glass. It's the same thing here. We're gathering that energy and we are installing it into a symbol. But don't be fooled, because where attention goes, energy flows. So even while you're drawing the sigil, you can still imagine those energies coming to you. The fact you're drawing the sigil means that that energy is drawing it through you. But another way you can charge a sigil, many, many ways, is gathering the cosmic force, the divine light from above, descending it through your crown chakra into your heart, and then gathering the earth chi, the earth energy, and gathering that up into your heart, mixing it into that gold. Then you can imagine that golden energy from your heart merging the heavens and earth, coming into this sigil from your palms, from your heart chakra, wherever, whatever you wish. The more creative you get with it, the more emotion you use, the more of your imagination you use, the better. One method I really like to use is to use my clairvoyance, my imagination, to visualize my room, the space I'm in, clairvoyantly. And as I'm looking at the sigil, I see the sigil glow with the intention I want to glow with. And as I see it glow clairvoyantly, I start to open my eyes slowly, and my clairvoyance starts to merge with my physical reality. And that's how you start anchoring these energies from the highest realm into the lower realms and eventually to Earth. So it is a simple process if you know what you're doing, if you understand the dimensions from which you're channeling, if you understand cosmology, if you understand the anatomy of, the spiritual planes, then it's going to be quite easy for you to consecrate a very powerful symbol or sigil. But if you're just visualizing and you're not that adept at consecrating things, and you will have doubt in your magic. So that was my favorite way to consecrate things. And as much as there is a visual, sensory aspect of consecrating stuff, we also cannot forget the power aspect. As much as magic requires a lot of knowledge, if you have no psychic force, if you have no power behind that knowledge is useless. Magic is a power-based science. It's a power-based practice. If you have power, if you have force, you're going to get things moving. The knowledge is simply there for you to guide that force and to master it. If you have a hard time developing a good relationship with the force, with chi, with psychic force, with astral light, what you want to do is you want to, again, have visualization, but you also want to do breath work. Whatever energy you're connecting to, do breath work and discharge it. Visualize the energy entering this sigil. And you will create some of the most powerful sigils on the planet. I guarantee it. But when it comes to sigils, the more power, the more detail, the more imagination, the better. And when you actually know the energy you're connecting to, you actually are familiar with it, it's so much easier to charge the sigil. It's so much easier because then you can actually connect to what this symbol actually means in the spirit realm. So connecting to the meaning of the intention of it is very important. If you have no desire, if there's no meaning to the sigil, there's no magnetism to the sigil. it's not pulling anything to you. So desire, meaning, these are very important. And also another thing, the cool thing about spirit sigils, especially with beings like Lucifer, is that they will typically have like a chant or like a un or en. And as you chant the en or the demonic call, what will happen is you can start using the sigil as a gateway. You can start gazing into it as you chant it. You can see it glow and actually use this as a gateway for the spirit to communicate with you. And this can be a powerful practice. It can be very useful, especially with spirits. Because if you're consecrating a symbol like Metatron's cube, or something that's not necessarily a conscious entity, I don't want to say conscious entity, but if it's just simply an energetic construct, you might not have a chant for it. But having a chant, using sound, using your sensory skills is going to be really helpful in charging any type of sigil, especially if your spirit senses are open. That by far is going to do a lot of the heavy lifting. If you're just using your physical senses, if you ask me, it's not as powerful. It's not as powerful because it's a very limited spectrum of light. If you're connecting to these higher spectrums of light, higher prisms of light, it's much easier to just directly channel the energy. And it's honestly not even that hard. Your imagination, don't doubt your imagination, because when you're imagining things, you're actually creating biophotons, meaning you're channeling biological light particles. And those photons gather energy to your aura or dispel energy from your aura. So when you're thinking about, for example, the energy of Lucifer, and you're imagining this sigil glow with the fiery light bringer energy of Lucifer, you're in a way gathering those light photons through your right brain, and you are transmitting it into the sigil. And those atoms, those light codes you're channeling, those protons you're channeling from the higher realms, now become imbued into the sigil. And now, instead of you attracting that energy, this sigil becomes a magnet for that energy. So there's a science to it, because we're talking about light, we're talking about atoms here, and electromagnetism. It's all energy. If you don't charge it, it's not going to have a charge. So that's all I have to say about sigils. I don't use them as often personally, but they are useful. You can use them even for spirit communication. They are an amazing focal point. So yeah, that's what I have for sigils and how to activate them. I hope this video was useful. If you like this video and you want to know more about magic and just the teachings of the gods, like, share, and subscribe. Till next time.